And here we are.
Hooray!
But I say, don't everyone get excited at once.
I was drinking Mexican
Hello.
Coca-Cola.
I am currently enjoying a toasted ham and cheese sandwich, so I can't respond quite quick enough.
Okay, what kind of cheese?
Swiss, naturally.
Okay, I respect you. I respect
I,
it.
I am shoving fried rice down my gullet. I empathize.
Any vegetables?
Of course, it is pineapple chicken fried rice.
Nice.
That actually kind of sounds amazing.
I made it. It's yummy.
That actually sounds fucking amazing. God damn, I'm hungry.
Are you telling me a chicken fried this rice?
Listen here,
Sometimes I am a chicken, yes.
God damn.
Thank you, Windows. I don't want to do an update.
Fuck off, Windows.
Windows, but have
doors.
you heard about our Lord and Savior, Windows 11?
Yeah,
The
everything
spirit
was...
of Flippy lives on.
Yeah, no. Also, I just updated OBS, and then I open up OBS today, and it's like, hey, there's an update. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, I feel that. Because, God. Fuck certain things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Learned one thing about OBS. If it tells you to update your graphics driver, you don't have to. Just restart OBS. Sometimes it just does that.
Well, I'm just happy when OBS doesn't uninstall my graphics drivers without my asking.
Ugh.
Which again still surprises me because OBS has not done that to me yet. Windows has, though. Hi, chat. Welcome to the software be nutty.
Mm-hmm.
Software do be nutty.
Yeah,
Leaders on to-
Yeah.
I was about to say, you're telling that to one of the players whose character has a living computer built into his chest.
I thought
We
I was
might-
talking to my friend Burnout Vaughn, not his character.
Listen here.
Hey, I'm Goldblum.
Okay. God damn it, Wiley. Listen here, you son of a bitch.
Also, I just realized something. Today's the one day that Goldblum can really say that, no, I am gray, because it is Ace Visibility Day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, happy Ace Visibility Day, everybody.
Yay.
Now we just need somebody to roll an 8 so we can be aces and 8s.
You know what? Fuck it. Before we start the session, everybody roll me a D8. Let's see how many we can get.
Being in the game would probably help.
It would. 6, 6, 3, 5. I mean, if you combine those two, you
Wake
get
me
an 8.
up. Can't wake up.
That is the wrong game.
I lost the game.
There we go.
We all lost the game.
Yeah.
And now everyone in chat can see that Wiley's new name is Nips Now Hidden.
I kind of forgot I left it as that.
Nips don't lie.
So, what makes this even more hilarious is that we can see your profile picture for Goldblum right now. And so all I can think of is Nips Now Hidden. Please bring me to light. God damn it.
All right. Well, that being said, how about we start going around the horn? CG, how about you start us off?
Hello, I am the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on various Good Beans D&D channels such as twitch.tv/farningdark, where if you tune in tomorrow, we have our weekly Saved by the Spell game, in which we had not one but 2 bombshells drop last session, which I'm not really going to spoil because they're major spoilers. But do know that we are in for a bit of a tough fight. Big DPS check, if you will. You can also catch us every other Tuesday for Rascals and Ravnica, in which We have downtime for, I think, the first time in the entire game, and I'm going to use it to send a certain someone probably into another dimension. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that certain someone?
Hello, I am a certain someone. You can find me at XWileyWilly at Twitch and Twitter. I play randomizers. When I'm not dying in D&D, I'm being resurrected in D&D. I've been woken up inside. As mentioned. Also, I make music that goes up on YouTube. And I've started putting music in Majora's Mask Randomizer because why not? I have the technology now. That's fun. Sometimes I'll play Majora's Mask Randomizer. It will be fun when I learn how complicated it is. It is a lot of learning. But other than that, I'll play Multi-World Zelda with Helix on Sundays now, because we've moved from Thursdays to Sundays to make it easier for us. We're going to be trying a new multiplayer mod. So imagine old school Zelda, but like modernized. 60 FPS, full screen, widescreen, I guess, more accurately. An actual multiplayer where we can interact in the same thing. Yes, I believe that's all there is other than my Ko-Fi, where my commissions are open, for those who keep asking. That's a lot of shilling. Bob, where can we find you?
Greetings
up
and
to?
salutations, friends. I'm Shadow Dancer Bob. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, Patreon at Shadow Dancer Bob. Sundays, we've got Maelstrom coming up on May 5th. Is the beginning of season 2's Maelstrom Twitch show, the wrestling show. I've got a lot of people coming in for wrestling characters. All of them are unique. Wahoo! Mondays you can additionally on Sundays you can find me on twitch.tv/LanePator for Roll With Me. The age of the platinum, the age of the dawn of the platinum dragon has begun. We've brought out the second coming of a platinum dragon by beating the shit out of a red dragon. Funny that. Thursdays we've got the Murder Cave with Helldivers 2. The cave is grinding like hell, and we are teaching more of the community about the rules of Bob. Just this past Friday, none other than Gim Gam himself learned about the rules of Bob, first person. Saturdays, you can find me here. Fridays, we've got my chill streams going on, and I have been playing Jalopy as of late, which is very interesting, very fun. Apparently, I somehow flipped the car. I don't know how I fucking flipped the car, but I flipped that car. And we are starting to smuggle wine across borders to make profits, and that is some very interesting things going on. Zai, where can people find you? What do you have going on?
When I'm not briefly shitposting in Discord, hi. You can find me Twitch, no longer the Tweetor, but Instagram, Blue Sky, all that good jazz, at pretty much Zyme or Zyme site. It gets complicated. Shit's difficult to keep track of. So if you need it, there's a link. That's a card. You can find all the things. On Mondays, I've been playing some Resident Evil 4 remake with Vaughn in character as the Wizard Sib from this game, Daedalus and Iapetus, and we're in the end game. On Tuesdays, you can catch me playing Final Fantasy X HD Remaster, where we are still trying to play Gotta Catch 'Em All. I only need to go to 3 more regions, and then I can have Auron Celestial Weapon. I'm making a horrible choice, and Omega Ruins is probably going to be that 3rd region. That's a bad idea, but fuck it, we palm. On Fridays, I'm doing Fistful of Friday, where I'm playing fighting games. Taking a break from Tekken 8. New patch, go burr. New patch, go burr and fuck up a lot of things. So if I'm playing Tekken 8, I won't be playing ranked. Let's see. Other than that, you can catch me here every other Saturday with these lovely beans. And who knows? Maybe I'll start playing Dragon's Dogma. Like on stream. I don't know. It's fun. You should play it. Do the thing. But that is me. Uh, uh, Frost, you go.
Hey everyone, Twitch, Twitter, JFrost747. Catch me here every other Saturday for this lovely campaign. You can catch me every Sunday for our War of the Shattered Sun campaign, as CG has mentioned, as well as our Rascals in Ravnica campaign every other Tuesday. We have downtime. We've acquired a number of things. My character might have fallen in love with someone who is of the mob. I don't understand. Emotions. Other than that, Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke will be returning sometime soon, as well as the Metal Gear Solid 1 run, because I have taken enough time, I need to beat that game. Other than that, find me here, there, and everywhere. Just goofing off, and also planning some future shit. You can also probably find my spouse for here on this channel. You know, the lovely spoiled chestnut.
Yes, that is me. I'm only here and a disembodied voice in the background of my husband's streams.
Well, that just leaves me. You've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn, where not too much is going on. We don't have a Those Who Wander tomorrow. That'll be next week, because our dates got shifted to the 14th and the 20th. To the 14th and the 28th. There will also not be a No Love War extra at the end of the month, because for the first time in like a decade, I'm going to an anime convention, so I won't be here on Saturday. That said, we also have some No Love War extra coming next week, where it's going to be fun, because I have been dying to get back into the Astral Sea and just have fun with the Moon Cell, and having Saris and Zako by my side make it all the more fun. So yeah, be ready to check that out. But everything else is all up on YouTube. We got everything up to date, and so I'm just looking forward to getting into today's game. So I'm going to take us away with Wiley's lovely theme song. Now, Frost, if you would, please take us away.
Alright, everybody, get in the Coke machine.
Wait, fit. I don't think that's gonna work.
Don't worry, it'll work. We'll just fold everybody, you know, origami. Human origami. But allow me to get to the music. Alrighty. Last time on Saved by the Spell, the party managed to do a little bit of shopping out in the Elvish City while they were on their layover to get back to school. Lots of material had been gained. Clothing has been secured, at least in terms of it being built. There's, of course, some magic items that have been acquired here and there. A nice little breakfast, brunch, lunch, with some sandwiches from a little granny. And, of course, the sweet, sweet relief of finally being back on campus and having peace. Well, for the most part. A certain someone kind of had to deal with another certain someone kind of losing their room for a bit to a bunch of roaches who made, you know, La Rochestan. and now they're gone. But we will be picking up where we left off. The party has, of course, come back to their peaceful little campus. And we'll start off with whoever would like to go first, just in terms of, getting their campus legs back, having some time. If anyone would like to start, please speak now, or forever hold your peace.
I declare random.
Okay, we're going random.
She's not here. She's hitting a baby with a meteor.
Oh, random weather.
Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna roll a d6 for this. Motherfucker. Oh. Okay. Iapetus. You will be up first.
All right then.
You are back on campus. The air is fresh. The surroundings familiar. And most importantly, no immediate danger. It is just nice to see everything back in. There is your fellow schoolmates who are currently just shuffling around and about. Your teachers going on their merry way to either grade papers, teach classes, or kind of just get caught up on a few different pet projects. And of course, there is the lovely smell of just academia in the air. Whether it be from the caffeine, the books, the fresh grass.
Phew.
It just feels like home again.
All right. Well, Frost, if you don't mind, would you let me roll a Constitution to see if she's feeling better after the hurl whirl that was the day before?
I'd allow it. Go ahead. Just a straight.
Okay. Her button. 16.
A 16 is more than enough. It
Sweet.
took a bit, but you're feeling better now. It was just a little bit of the old, transportationary.
All right. Well, then, since she's probably, quote, up and about before most people, she's gonna peek on over at her plants, and since she's not feeling like complete trash, before she feeds them, how are they looking? Did they live for the week that we were away?
Yeah, they're definitely hanging up all right. You could probably tell that it's more than likely due to the campus, with how many archivists, how many druidics. No doubt someone has at least been keeping all plants up and going.
Okay. Well, she'll give it a little TLC, give it a little food, and it's noted she's probably not feeling tired, but she doesn't have any she has mostly a kind of indifferent emotion at the time. She's not tired, or actually lackadaisical. She's not tired. She's not angry or mad. She's just, I'm back on campus. Time to get into the routine of things.
Mm-hmm. It's like coming back from vacation, and you're gonna be heading back to work.
Yeah. That way she doesn't anger the plant, potentially.
Yeah, the plant's just vibing.
But yeah, she's actually gonna kind of start unpacking some of her stuff. Anything that she doesn't really need to have on her, so putting away some of the clothes and stuff that they got. She's notably probably still wearing some of what she wore while they were in Kalimshan if it's warm. If it's cold, she's probably switched back to what she had.
I would say that For right now, the temperature's in the low to mid 70s.
Okay, so then it's a little warm. She'll keep the column shine stuff on if it's not filthy, obviously.
Of course, of course. I
Um,
impetus, you would
yeah.
kind of see, however, that as you're unpacking everything else, a messenger bird is currently at your window.
Oh, she will actually open up the window and let it in.
The bird is not an owl. It is instead what appears to just be like a messenger pigeon. It has a little paper scroll in its beak, and it kind of just drops it. And as it sees that its mission is completed, it flies off.
Oh, okay. She will unroll the message or the paper and read it.
The message comes from your employer.
Oh fuck, she's fired.
No. No, don't worry. The Fire Jolt Cafe the letter is from the Fire Jolt Cafe. It is to let you know that their hours of operation will be shifting a little bit due to exams that will be coming up within around a few weeks' time. As they understand that this tends to be like an important time for students, so they want to make sure that everyone is taken care of and no one has to fret.
Okay. Does it say what those hours might be, or is it just like just be informed? You'll get your
It's
new
just
schedule.
being informed. Basically, you'll
Gotcha.
learn about it when you go back to work.
Okay. I guess speaking of work, although she probably still has a few hours, does she have a shift coming up, or should
No.
she like
You
go?
are not scheduled for the day. Your shift probably will take back in tomorrow, though. Or at least you believe it would probably be the best thing to check in tomorrow. Just because it has been quite a bit of time.
Gotcha. All right. Well then, seeing as she has the day to herself, man, that was a trip. Oh. All right. I should get my books in order and such. Crap, do I even have a class today? She will check her schedule to see if she has a scheduled class for today.
For safety and brevity's sake, no. Nobody has a class today because you all just came back from your field trip. There is basically going to be exhaustion factor taken into account. So students that were on the trip have been given a reprieve. But assume that everything is to probably go back to normal by tomorrow.
Okay. So then if that's the case, she's gonna spend Actually, is there an area where like if she wanted to just like warm up and just like practice maybe like some forms or something that she could do that this early in the day?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of places that you can go try out. Technically, you could go down to the Strixhaven Stadium into its more private study areas for personal weapons training. You could just do a little bit over with the Archway Commons. If you're feeling a little bit more kind of like you want a little bit more of a natural scenery, there's Witherbloom within the Sedgemoor, at least the entrance point of it, just due to the fact that, you know, the further you go into the Sedgemoor, the more animalistic creatures you'll encounter.
This is fair. All right. Well, then she'll head on down to go grab some food first. Either actually she'll head down to the cafeteria because she recalls that her friend was pretty much down for the count in Belky's room, so she's not gonna rush over to his room for breakfast. But she'll head down to like the dining hall or the cafeteria to grab a quick bite, nothing too heavy. And then see if she can head either to the I think you said the Archfey or Arch Commons. Student Archroom Commons for some
The Archway
practice?
Commons.
Archway Commons. Yeah,
Yeah,
she'll
it's
head over there.
basically just outdoors. It's if you were to look at it from an aerial view, it's basically right before you get to the Biblioplex. It's next to the Fire Joel Cafe. It's basically like it's like Grand
Courtyard.
Central Park.
Got you.
It's basically, hey, it's a nice place to go, sit down, have a nice picnic, or just hang out with friends and stuff. It is basically the outdoorsy center of a college.
Well then, yeah, that's what she will go do. Obviously, if she sees any folks along the way, she will like say hi to them and such. But that is her order of operations.
Of
She needs to
course.
go practice.
Of course. There will be a couple students that wave hi to you, a few first years that you're in class with, a couple that just generally know you, saying, hey, how's it going? Hope the trip was great. And a few professors do acknowledge you. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
For now, she probably will just be practicing for like half an hour or so. That way other people get some time to talk about what they're doing too.
Of course. Well, if that's the case, we will move along. We will start up with the next group of individuals. Speaking of those down for the count, and there.
Kill me.
You are having a time, buddy. Belky's currently taking a crash session herself and just kind of enjoying a nice bit of peace and quiet.
Belky went to go reprimand Antimony in town away from everybody else.
Oh, even better. Even better. Well then, I rescind my comment. Belky is currently giving Antimony about a couple lickings. You are in the, within their dorm room, just resting up. There is a nice bit of, like, water, at least set aside for you. That way, you're, like, if you're feeling a little bit parched, you have some hydration. There is a little bit of, kind of like this, what can only be described above game as, like, electrolyte package. Basically, little electrolyte tablets that you could munch on to help keep your body going and feeling a little bit better.
Yeah, he also has those beads of nourishment as well.
Correct. But it's not a great feeling. You're like, ugh.
He wants
Really
a
good
little. He wants a little bit of death as a treat.
Yeah, just a little death as a treat. Just a little death. The good part about this is that with the dorm rooms and everything else, they're temperature controlled, so you can kind of basically, you have your own AC units.
I
So,
believe he also has prestidigitation, so he can warm or cool the blanket as needed.
correct. So basically it is, you could have fresh sheets, while at the same time staying warm or cool. But nothing too problematic. You would, however, kind of get like a knock at the door with there being just a little campus cleaning.
The campus cleaning not needed. Go away.
There's silence, and then they just go, understood. And you can hear the wheeling of what appears to be, what sounds like a cart, probably full of cleaning supplies and stuff, being taken away from the door.
Falcon can do it. Falcon can do it that later.
I will say,
I'll find that doctor and shove my butt so far up his ass.
I will say that if there is anything you want to do, because I have looked at the weekly actions and stuff.
Oh, my weekly actions is likely going to be like in the second part of the week. I'm in part 1 to 4 right now.
Yeah, you are in pain.
I am still trying to actively die, but failing to do so.
I'll say for this then, we will move on, if that is all right.
That is perfectly acceptable.
Understood. Next up,
Can I still have a little bit of death as a treat?
maybe, quite maybe. Have you finished your meat?
Roll
No.
a single death save.
Roll a single death save. Jokingly, of course.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you feeling like shit. Yeah. Yeah, Ender is not doing alright. But don't worry. Death might come. That's same. Is that same? What is up with this D4? Ah, okay. Daedalus,
Ah,
you're back on campus. You could smell academia in the air. And a little bit of cinnamon. But that might be from the fact that, some people are walking around with cinnamon-infused coffee.
well, then I guess I'm probably doing the very first thing on my weekly actions.
Alright, you
'Cause-
wish to debrief your professors.
Well, yeah, I did literally just get teleported in there, say, oh yeah, we have a golden dragon on campus now. And then one of my friends changed genders, and my sister began throwing up, so he's just prioritized that.
Okay. I would say this. Roll me a what was he? Roll me a perception check. It's going to be an active perception to try to see if you can go find one of your professors.
That's persuasion, my bad.
It's all good. Try again.
7.
7. Your first thought is, may as well go to one of the big ones, and you go to Naylock's office. You see, however, that the office is closed, and there is a sign on the door that says, "Out to lunch."
Daedalus is going to have the most perplexed look on his face. Because, again, it's Naylock having lunch.
You can only imagine what a construct like him would be munching on.
Oh, those poor orphans.
Don't joke.
Meanwhile,
Don't give me that ammo.
well, then Daedalus is just going to cheat and be like, Paradix, can you give me the location of Professor Naylock?
Scanning. Location determined. Fire Jolt Cafe.
Surprising. Oh well, he'll head on over there because he knows exactly how to get there because his sister works there.
Yeah. I would say as you do walk down, you do walk by your sister, who is currently practicing her forms
Oh, well
out
then,
in the Archway Commons.
then he will stop. Hey, Iaptis, I got these for you. And you will see him pull out of his bag 2 scrolls, specifically a scroll of jump and a scroll of mirror image.
Oh, hey, morning, Lucy. Thank you.
Yeah.
When'd you get these?
Oh, when we split up and I went to the magic shop and you went somewhere else, I forget where. I think you were getting clothes.
Oh yeah, we did swing by a tailor or a clothing shop, run by an interesting group of triplets. Quite nice. Incredibly hard to tell them apart. But yes, thank you. And just to confirm, that was jump and what above game?
Mirror image. Basically,
Thank you.
you know from
I'm
Unexpectables.
just writing them down.
You know from Unexpectables, that's how Greckles did his clone.
Yes.
Kagebushi
I remember.
no
Just needed to write them down.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you get a chance to do any copying of these yourself, or did you not need them, Lucy?
I don't really need them. They're more for frontline people.
Fair enough. Where are you off to? And you'll see her like take a moment and grab like a napkin or something, kind of like dab at her forehead.
I'm meeting the professor for lunch. Naylock specifically.
Naylock invited you out for lunch?
No, he's on lunch, but I still have to talk to him, so I'm heading to lunch.
First off, it's the like still kind of early morning. Second, are you sure you want to interrupt his lunch break? What's so important?
The fact we brought a baby dragon egg onto a campus with 5 ancient dragons that already just put up defenses against dragons getting in. It's kind of a minor scale international incident.
Her face is going to like Stonewall. Lucy? Are you telling me that you were literally about to go and inform our professor about something that isn't necessarily your business to share?
Considering I'm currently waging a cyber war against a evil cult trying to protect everyone, I think noting down all security risks is kind of important.
Yes, but being mindful of your compatriots' trust is also important. Have you spoken with Salas before deciding to just go tell a professor about something that is Salas's responsibility?
Well, you were all there when I first told him. Now I'm just going there to debrief him and make sure that nothing bad happens.
So above game, from what I understand, you told him in your head. We didn't hear that out loud.
Okay, I did forget because that was over a month ago. But
about the dragon?
Yeah.
No, you told him last session.
Yeah, that was last session that you said it.
Okay.
But the way you said it was kind of like in your head, so I wasn't aware. Now I guess I should ask. Would you have said it out loud to Morg when we got there? Because then retroactively she would have like had this conversation with you way earlier. Otherwise, I thought this was in your head.
I think he would have, but he would also probably assume that Morg knows because Morg was there when the egg was given.
Morg was outside. He wasn't in the tent.
Well,
Morg was basically called in. He arrived late thinking that he was about to deal with an international incident. And then when everything was calm, he went, "My time was wasted." And then fucked off back to the campus.
Well, then meanwhile...
So I just want to make sure I don't jump ahead with something if you actually did something different retroactively.
Well, in all honesty, I'm also just trying to do this to protect Salas because I don't know how dragons take their territories getting invaded. And I don't want him to get attacked by dragons, especially ancient ones.
Well, that's understandable, Lucy. Given that we encountered someone who is presumably a dragon, I would say this. You know how you feel about my secret? And how I've told you before that's my secret to share if I so choose? She's waiting to see if you acknowledge that sentence or not.
Well, truth be told, the genie's already out of the bottle, though.
What do you mean the genie's already out of the bottle, Lucy?
I mean, I warned him whenever I first got here. I just didn't have time to talk to him and just try to find out the logistics of what's going on.
You already told him about Salas. Oh, okay. Did you... She looks slightly irritable. Did you tell him anything else, Lucy, about us?
No, because you started throwing up and then Indare started doing his trick. Or was that Aphira? I don't know. Either way,
he was shunted back into technically being Indare, but we'll get to that. Stick a pin in that. I'm gonna say this now because I don't think have you done this before, Lucy?
No, because we haven't done anything that would endanger the security of the entire school. Wait a sec, he thinks back. No, I've only ever tried to improve the security here.
So I'm not asking about improving the security. I'm asking like what you've already done as far as telling Naylock about Salus's obligation currently. Did you haven't just been going and like informing Naylock or Morg about what we're all doing when we're around you, have you?
No, haven't had a reason to. Except for that time when I tried to call Naylock and instead got Morg when we all thought Salus was in danger. But that was because we thought a dragon was about to eat Salus, so I just trying to save him.
Okay, so then I'm gonna give this suggestion, firm suggestion, Lucy. She's sweating for different reasons now. About our friend's like private life. Just like you wouldn't want someone to know about my secret unless I chose to share it, I would highly suggest speaking with the person first, in this case, speaking with Salus, about whether or not he wants that information divulged before just going off and letting the professors know. There's some like parable somewhere about how sometimes we think we're helping, but we could be doing more harm than good. So just at least go talk with Salus first before you divulge anything else about this egg to Naylock. We don't know what Salus discussed with the Sultan, and we probably shouldn't potentially step on his toes. Can you do that, please?
Well, then you just brought up another reason why I kind of really had to talk to Naylock, because anything that happens with that dragon is an international incident.
We don't know if it's an international incident yet, because again, Lucy, you and I were not in that tent for that conversation. Maybe if you talk with Salus first, he can decide whether or not he wishes to enlighten you on any information that was shared. Again, we don't want to. Trust is a very hard thing to regain if you break it. And if you value Salus's friendship and his trust, if you value the friendship and trust of anyone else in this party, this group of ours, you should probably talk with them first when it comes to things that are private to them. Because we don't know if it's an international incident yet. Because we don't know the details of what happened.
Above game, I thought EG told us all of this, or like Salus told us all of this in character, like afterwards.
Not really.
Yeah, like from what we know, I think Goldblum, myself, and Indare were in the tent. We were told to leave. We got messages from Salus about he might be in trouble, but like we needed to eventually contact him again. Before we could contact him again, Morg was called in. And all we know is that he has the egg, and the Sultan was talking with him and with Belky during the trip back in regards to things to do to take care of the egg. But we do not know the stipulations of the contract in game. Above game we do, in game we don't.
All right, well, Daedalus is just going to be like, hike up, put a finger to his head. Salus, you hit it in your head. Salus, Naylock knows about the egg. Would you like me to run damage control on this?
You hear a reply that says, "What?"
He's going to sigh and waste another spell slot. Come meet us outside. What was it called again?
The Fire Jolt Cafe.
Not-
Your sister's
Oh yeah,
workplace.
okay. I thought I was talking about the common area, but yeah.
Oh,
the
Archway Commons. Yeah,
Archway
because you didn't get to the
Commons.
cafe
Yeah, it's
yet.
the Archway Commons Park specifically.
You'll just hear back in your head, we're at the Archway Commons if you want to meet up with me and Iapetus.
Stay right there.
He's on his way.
Question.
Wait, you just contacted him now?
Yeah. I don't know where he is. I can only track Morg on this campus, and some of you depending on which, like, Securitrons you walk by.
She's going to port her weapon away, like it's gonna just shrimp back to wherever it was.
Oh.
Going to continue to wipe off hair and just be like, and take out whatever she got from the dining hall and start eating it.
It's... You take a bite, and you're just like... You can feel it. Hey, Salas, I have a question for you.
Hi.
Are you going to go alone or with the egg?
That egg is not leaving my sight. It is I'm not doing my best to kind of like carry it around campus in a more or less concealed way.
So, keeping it more concealed in the bag.
Yeah.
Yes. Understood.
He has not had the opportunity to inform the other members of his particular dorm room not to touch the egg.
Copy that.
He's looking daggers at Cooper.
Cooper is actually nestled next to the egg.
Good.
He's
Very
just
good.
currently nestled. Seemingly trying to keep the egg warm.
Aww. Egg is still coming with me. I have not... Above game, Salas has not set up anything, and he'll probably take Cooper with, honestly.
Of course.
But he has not set up anything with the egg regarding, like, maintenance or keeping tabs of it or what it's going to happen with it while I, Salas, am away.
Of
So,
course.
until then, it is coming with him. And discreetly.
Alrighty. I'd say it will take you about maybe a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes to go from your dorm down to the Archway Commons. But you do eventually get there. And I would say, because of your passive perception being as high as it is, you would see your friends.
Alright.
Currently just having, a little bit of relaxation down in the Commons.
And Salas is going to spot the two of them and briskly walk over to them.
Hey, Salas.
Howdy.
Hey, Salas. Did you know Naylock actually eats?
No. Curiosities aside, not the time for it. What's this about, Naylock?
He knows about the egg.
Why does he know about the egg?
Because he's head of security, and we just brought a dragon egg to a campus owned by 5 dragons who already had to dragon-proof this campus twice.
Uh-huh. And
Isn't
why does...
wait, Lucy, he's not head of security. Morg is.
you're gonna see Daedalus turn to you and give you a like, is he really though?
Above game, Morg's only temporary head. That position is currently being filled by new positionaries.
But Morg was the interim because Naylock
Correct.
got fired, right?
Because Naylock was forcibly demoted. After the cult incident
Mm-hmm.
and the mass casualties.
So yeah, that's why she jumps in and says that, because first off, wait, so you've been reporting to him thinking he's the head and he's not, and you knew this.
In the short time he's been demoted, we've literally had 2 more cult attacks and 1 still ongoing. So yes, I defer more to him because I think he actually would do a better job. Also considering he's the one who helps me connect to the Securitron network.
Lucy, that's not your... You know what? Salas, I'm sorry. she's just gonna go walk off slightly to the side and just let you handle that because she can't. It's too early in the morning.
Salas looks back over to Daedalus. So you're telling me that, from what I understand from that sentence, you informed Nailok of what's going on?
Just that we brought a dragon back with us.
Mm-hmm. In that little head of yours, what are some parameters about this particular dragon that maybe you should have considered?
I was mostly thinking that another dragon would try to pick you up and eat you like we were already worried was going to happen.
Do you think that that's going to happen the second that I step on campus? The instant that I step on campus?
I mean, I don't know. I would have to look up what other security measures we have. I really only know about the Securitron network.
Do you think, possibly, hear me out, I may have been aware that there might be some chicanery afoot with bringing a dragon onto campus? Do you think that this has crossed my mind at all?
Probably.
Right. Now, do you think, between the two of us, you and me, you, who are my friend, and myself, who is the steward of this dragon, which do you think should be talking to the faculty more?
The one who's now officially a protege of the person he was going to talk to?
No! Absolutely the fuck not! You had no right to share that.
I'm sorry.
Where's Nailok?
Apparently in the Fire Drill Cafe?
I'll be seeing my way over to him. Be more considerate in the future, would you? Try to think of someone else for a change. And Sal's is gonna storm off.
Ooh. The air is tense, at least for a moment, and then the awkwardness kind of sets in.
Dale's is just going to dejectively move on to the third from the bottom thing that he was going to do, and just kind of basically make himself invisible for the rest of the day, because that's on a whole different side of the school.
We will get to that in an interesting bit. If you don't mind, we will cover that in a little while.
Oh yeah, no problem.
All right. Salus. Let me change the music. Let's see. Salus, you walk into the Fire Jolt Cafe, which is moderately busy right about now. There's a lot of students, a couple different faculty members here and there. If I could ask, roll me a perception check.
Sure. Uh, 25.
25. Okay. Salus, you kind of scan around the room quickly, and it doesn't take you very long. You do see Nailok at a table with two other individuals.
Do I recognize them?
You recognized one, as it is Professor Morg, currently sitting down. There's plenty of books and papers and everything else kind of on the table. And it looks like the two professors and their third guest are reading through. The third guest is a woman wearing green clothing. Kind of like a nice green headband, a green dress top, and kind of green cut-off skirt. She's seemingly wearing high heels, because you can kind of see underneath the table a bit. Looks like she's drinking a coffee. Morg is drinking himself coffee, and Nalux kind of just writing down some stuff. It seems like they're just kind of having a general, like, meeting in this one corner of the cafe. None of them notice you, they're just kind of just working on something.
Can I get a vibe? Like, it just seems like teacher's out to lunch.
Yeah. You can roll a vibe check.
Sure. Insight?
Yeah.
16.
It seems like they're just out to lunch, or whatever constitutes as lunch early. Maybe brunch? Like, there's a few, like, scones here and there, but it mostly looks like it's just the two organic ones are eating, whereas the metal ones just kind of just flipping through books, and then kind of, like, pointing to, like, some, like, documents, where the other ones kind of, like, nod their head, shake their head, and just talk amongst one another.
Sounds good. With that 25 perception, do I notice anything else interesting in the cafe?
Not
Just gonna-
necessarily. I mean, the only thing happening is the fact that there's a lot of people just currently, like, in a rush to get, like, some really good coffee right now, because, like, you see that the staff is kind of like clockwork. They're working on one machine in particular, just sending out, like, these specialized brew drinks left, right, and center. So it must be, like, something new that may have been introduced to the menu.
Sound. That's quite an eclectic group over there. Goblin? Kind of blinks and shakes. Nope, sorry, something for later. And he's going to make his way casually over to the professor's table.
Alrighty. As you get closer, you kind of hear the professors and this third individual kind of talking and going, No, that wouldn't be it. What would it be, then? I don't know, maybe it's gillyweed, perhaps? How could it be gillyweed? The texture doesn't match. I don't know, you could probably process it. There's thousands of ways to process a plant. No, if it was, it would have been noticed. Of course. But at the same time, maybe there's... I don't know, maybe it's a algae of some kind? I don't know, I just... Oh! And you see Morg is the first to notice you. Ah! Mr. Creed.
Howdy. Pardon me, I didn't mind interrupting. I'm only here for just a second. He looks on over to Professor Naylog. First of all, he's gonna say, look over to Morg. Thank you for your appearance the other day, brief as it was.
It's all good. No, Callum Shan is a little scary. It can be an intimidating thing, but, you know, I'm there for my students.
Well, good man. Thankfully, it turned out to be alright, but I wanted to thank you just in case.
Oh, it's fine. Just next time, let me know that everything's alright before I get there.
For what it's worth, we only learned that everything was alright about 30 seconds before you dropped in.
Ah, I see. Happened
was
circumstance.
Yeah. My Salas says this with a furrowed brow. My friends care a lot for my safety, and they have a habit of shooting the gun before they load the bullets, if you know what I mean.
More kind of smirks at that and goes, I remember those days. I don't know. Let me tell you about an old story about an old fighter I once knew. He was a great man. Very, very alert. Always looked out for us. Tried to impress Diana once, but... oh, that ended out bad.
I can imagine. We can recount another time. I didn't want to interrupt too much, but I did want to discuss with Professor Naylock here about something.
Of course, of course.
Just go ahead.
Moore kind of looks over to Naylock and goes, Nay, if you don't mind, I think I'm going to retire from our little investigation for a bit. I've got a few papers I need to start grading, and I need to prepare for some upcoming examinations for the students. Go ahead. You too, dear. You must be busy with your own stuff. Oh, of course. I've got plenty of things I must attend to back at my building. You see this woman kind of get up, and she looks to you, Salus, and goes, My apologies, my good sir. And she kind of holds out a hand to you and just goes, I wish you the best of luck.
He'll return the shake. Thank you. Best of luck in your day, too. Looking for a name and not finding one.
She smiles and goes, Penis. Well, that's not penis. Penis.
Penis? Alright then.
Madame, Penis.
Thank you, Hinas. Salus Creed.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Creed. And she kind of looks at you for one quick second and goes, Pick a card. And she holds out a sprawled hand of cards.
Salus, a little perplexed, picks one.
Alright. You kind of decide to pick out a card. You see it's a jack of clubs. Jack of clubs? Interesting. And she kind of gives you a nice little pat on the head. And as she walks away, Salus, you feel a little bit more sturdy. You feel like you could run headfirst into a wall and you wouldn't feel it. For the next 5 minutes, you are under the effects of the Jack of Clubs. You get a free +2 to all persuasion checks.
Nice. Might be helpful here.
Eventually, Madame Pina... God, I'm going to fuck up her name every time. Madame Phineas and Moore kind of just walk away as they kind of still continue their conversation a bit. Naylock, however, is not looking up at you. He's just continuously reading through some documents and goes, Mr. Creed, how can I help you?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I believe my friend recently told you about something that we picked up on a return trip from Kalimsham.
Yes, that. I would think about discussing it later, but you have come to me, therefore. We will discuss it now. Sit. And he kind of just points to, like, the free open seats in this, kind of cutaway, like, booth that is now more available.
Salus will take a seat, and he'll tell to look over to Naylock. And again, was admittedly planning to come to later, rather than immediately, but someone forced my hand. Yes, I believe he informed you that I'm in charge for a certain egg.
I see. Is the egg safe?
It is. I'm currently working to find a good place for it, safe, secure, as well as properly incubated and cared for, but as I did not have time to set that up before I learned about this, it is currently with me, and I'm hoping to get something. I'm hoping to get it a bit more situated over the course of the day before I got in touch with all y'all.
It is fine. Tell me. What is the details of the egg and your whatever, how you got this egg?
The egg is, I believe, a golden dragon's egg.
Kind of
And,
stops reading and goes, I see. He looks up to you. Go on.
In our investigation in Kalimshan, we had found ourselves situations that put us in in the excavationary tomb, of which I was guided to a certain extent to the location of this egg. Upon its retrieval, the kind of looks like the dignitary and sultan of Kalimshan took an interest. Tried to offer me gold, riches, everything involved. Even got a little frightening at one point. But we reached an amicable agreement, the two of us, and avoided a potentially hairy situation. But I'm to look after this egg for 2 years, as well as when it hatches, then return to Kalimshan for the child to meet with Sultan, where they are to have a discussion.
I see. Interesting. To leave a wormling in the hands of a mortal. Normally, creatures of that caliber are seen as immediate threats, and Nayla kind of has an orb float to you, and the orb kind of displays a symbol of a circle with a line slashed diagonally across. Handled.
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Naylock has one of his orbs fly to you, and it displays the symbol of a, like a ban, like a circle with a slash through it.
Uh-huh. And banned them is what you said.
Well, terminated, but
I see.
But instead, you are being charged with its protection.
It's something I take very seriously, sir.
As you should. Dragon eggs are worth quite a bit.
Sultan made that abundantly clear. You can rest assured that worth is not important to me in this situation as the child's life.
Of course. But it's not just worth in the sense of financial. It is worth in the sense of the power that creature is. You understand the gravity of its situation.
I like to think I do. Don't get me wrong, I understand the gravity of the child, the power it has, and to a certain extent what's going on here. But I'd be lying if I said that the sheer scope of what might happen is a little beyond me. As in, people who I don't even know about taking an interest, what it might do to the school to a certain degree. You know what I mean.
Of course. I do. And you feel as if you are overwhelmed? You are in too deep?
Currently, No. And even if I were, I'd fight on. Doesn't mean I won't reach out for help when needed. It does
Good.
mean that I feel this responsibility deeply.
Good. Admission that you will always need help is the first step to acknowledging that there is limitation.
Yeah. There is one other thing that bears mention from the talk with the Sultan.
And that
Especially,
is-
there's one of the things that he agreed to, and one of the things that he wanted to make sure that understandably, he wanted to make sure there was at least a little bit of insurance that the child was cared for, the wormling was raised right. So he told me that he's sending in a secondary watcher on his terms, keep tabs on things. Now, I don't know anything about this, like who this person is, only that they're going to be keeping a bit of a distance. But it does mean that there might be someone in, I don't know if you're going to just run into someone, he's going to tell you, or like we're just going to be going on and all of a sudden this person appears out of nowhere. But it's worth noting that they did plan on sending an emissary to keep a secondary eye on things.
I understand. I will speak with the school's security council. I will speak with the headmaster, as well as the founders.
Thank you kindly, sir. I just want to make sure everything's squared away. Even if I was doing with the best of intentions, I could have put Strixhaven in a bit of an awkward position. I did already to a certain degree, and that ain't fair. Very
It is
least you have
all
a right to know.
Mr. Creed. We all have shortcomings. And Naylor kind of closes his book. He looks at you. It is hard to understand, but easy to know that there are things sometimes we do not control. If it makes you feel better, there are plenty of resources both on and off campus that are available to you if need be.
I would appreciate that. Lord knows wouldn't mind having someone. I know the Sultan sent someone, but I wouldn't mind having someone looking over the egg in instances where I have to step out. And I also know I've got to prepare the room and everything for care, which the Sultan was ever so kind to provide details for, but I still need to get started and find resources on that. That's my day-to-day, basically.
I would recommend against keeping it within the dorm room. It is tiny. It will not be sufficient housing.
Do you have a better suggestion, sir?
I have two ideas. With the Bloom campus, there's plenty of free forestry, plenty of access to food and water. When the egg does hatch. But the egg will need mothering. Come with me. And he kind of gets up.
Salus will follow.
We will be heading to someone who is an expert within draconology. Plus, I need to swing by their estate anyways for some more components.
Oh, fantastic timing then.
Yes. Come. And you both begin to walk. Naylor kind of does stop at the front door and goes, "Have you eaten or drinking anything?"
Sadly, no. Should I grab something on the go?
Grab tea. It is good for you.
Salus flashes back to several days of vomiting. Absolutely.
Good.
He'll grab a tea to go, and he will follow Naylock.
He nods.
If you want to, if you want to cut away to give someone else a chance and come back to me, Frost, we
Of
can
course.
do that. Yeah.
We'll switch over to Goldblum. Goldblum. You're back on campus. What are you doing right now, buddy?
Watering the plants, preparing spells,
Watering
and
plants
trying to
and
learn
plants.
drums.
Of course, of course.
Get that proficiency.
I would say plant watering is gonna be alright. You don't have to worry about that. Learning spells? Do me a favor. Would you please roll me a Arcana? Just for your magical learning.
No, I'm like just preparing spells
Oh, you're just
because
preparing?
druid. Yeah.
Okay, my apologies. Please forgive me.
Drumming is what I
was-
want to learn.
Okay, if you're wanting to learn drumming, performance check.
Let's support the band. Actually, be good at drums. 12. Do I add
It's-
the thingy? The class thing?
I could see that being added in.
Forgot what it was.
Well, it depends.
I just know.
It depends if it's one of the two like skills that's associated with it.
Yeah, is it associated with performance?
Should be because it's the performance club thing.
Oh yeah, the show band.
Yeah, yeah.
I just
that you
forget
should.
where that is.
It's just a D4.
Yeah, it's just a D4.
Oh,
It's like a guidance.
bam. For the club.
Ooh,
You got a
16
4?
total.
Even though it says a 3 on that die. That is funny as hell. Okay, that is a 16 overall. You start off kind of practicing your basic drum lines, trying to keep in beat, keep a tempo. You start off in kind of like the basic. You learn 4/4 timing, like bum,
Like the paradiddle.
bum, bum, bum. Yeah, and then you kind of work your way to 3/4 time, then half time, and then a quarter time. And eventually, you kind of just begin moving on to the beats, to the rhythm. And I would like one more performance check with advantage.
at the club.
Okay, that
Come
is...
on. First one, which okay, well neither of those really help.
Oh, I'm gonna say this right now. It's weird because on your die it said a 16, but I
There's
think
been a
roll
lot.
20's getting
There,
drunk.
there's been a lot of trouble with that. Like when I was programming in Zai's mace for them, it was always rolling visually one extra die, so I thought the programming on the actual attack was messed up. And
Oh
I,
no,
you know,
no! Like the die that's being rolled virtually.
I know, I know.
on-
I'm talking about the
it's
virtual
weird.
dice. That was an issue when I was having to program that. So
Oh,
Weird.
that's weird.
Mine looks fine.
Roll 20's drunk. But
20's always drunk.
of course it is. It's roll 20.
You know how
Which-
many con saves it has to make against getting drunk?
1.
All of the con saves across all of the games. That's a lot of failed checks, my guy.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one. Goldblum, you try to expand a little bit more into the drum line. You kind of try to get a little bit jazzy with it, with 5/4 tempo. And that's kind of where you drop off. You kind of feel... You just feel into it, and the rhythm is not right. Even when you're using the metronome, it's not right. And you eventually go and say, nah, this ain't it, Chief. But overall, it's not bad. You've spent at least like an hour plus kind of practicing your drill lines in. To basically put it bluntly, you've got the initial beats for what it would take for, I'd probably say like high school, college drumline when you're out on the field. But kind of spicing it up, it's gonna take a bit. There's progress. You do get a couple, like, people clapping along to your beats. Probably your neighbors next door. Some actually appreciate it. One kind of does, like, knock on the door and kind of is like, hey, can you turn it down a bit? You know, I'm trying to study here. But for the most part, it's not a bad practice.
Hooray.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Also learn how to use my brewer's kit.
Ah, you're wanting to finally start brewing.
You have to cook.
God,
We're doing a Halloween spice brew this week.
You joke. I admit we've done that before. Alright. Goldblum. I'd say... A brewer's kit usually requires general... I would say... Roll me a brewer's kit check. Roll me a check with that. Just to see the initial setup that you've got.
What stat even is that? It's
Do you
Guess I
have that
forgot to
added
put it
into
in.
your
in my
I'd say-
inventory, but
Okay, I'd say just it would be a general. And we'll see where it goes from there. Like a general D20.
$18. Let's go.
18. Okay. You start to kind of pull out each part of the brewer's kit. And with each piece that you pull out, how do I put it this way? You pull out a large glass jug, quantity of hops, a siphon, and several feet of tubing. And you kind of... You start thinking about it. Alcohol technically does work as, you know, componentry work. For this, I will say... This will use your wisdom modifier. Is that alright with you?
Absolutely, says the druid.
Alright. If you would like to, Because this was just basically to get yourself familiarized with everything. Roll me that Brewers with Wisdom.
Oh, of course. That's a nat 1.
Mmm.
My arms are too tired from drumming.
Roll me a Severity. Just a general d20. Lower it is, the safer you are. The higher it is, the shittier.
Double ones. Let's go. Damn it.
Oh.
That's a 19.
Oh no.
I make an explosion, don't I?
No.
I get a Molotov.
No. You, There's a package in there of sanitizer. And it was with the hops. And you thought, oh, maybe this goes in. And you put the sanitizer in and you ruin the hops. You basically have made the hops useless. So, congratulations. You have a jar with hops that are currently just ruined by sanitization packets. And the smell... It smells clean, but... You kind of read the instruction manual and see, hey, don't do this, otherwise you will create a poison.
I store the poison away.
Oh my god. You kind of think about it, and you think, this is the first time I'm doing this. Maybe I should probably get some help. Your first thought probably would be to go to someone maybe like Ender, who is currently trying to rest. So,
Day.
maybe not today. Tomorrow, perhaps. But today, no. Is there anything else you would have liked to do? Goldblum.
Nope. I believe that would be it. Work on my
Alright.
weekly actions.
Alright. Well, if that is the case, we will move on. Let's see. Now, I do have a question for both Daedalus and Salus. Which one of you would like to go first with yours?
I'm fine either way.
Salus?
I'm okay with either way.
Alright then, I'll roll for it. Blue or red?
Blue?
Okay. Red's got the higher number. So, I believe that was Salus? Yes?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Salus, we will pick up with you. You kind of begin walking with Professor Naylock after you get your drink. A nice little bit of tea, a nice green tea. And eventually, you guys keep walking past the Fire Jolt Cafe, past the Archway Commons, and you end up going to the Biblioplex, specifically to Morg's office. And eventually Morg kind of turns to you and goes, "Wait right here. I need to pick something up." And he unlocks his office door, goes in, and closes the door. There's a little waiting chair outside. You just having a seat?
Basically, he has no reason to. He is interested in looking around the Biblioplex, but he has no idea when Naylock is going to finish up, so he's just going to park
Of
his
course.
keister.
You kind of just sit down. It's a generic wooden chair. Cooper kind of pops his head from the bag and just goes, "Yep."
Hey, buddy. Hope I didn't mess up your nap.
Yep, yep. And he kind of just slinks back into the bag, kind of pulls out some rations, and just starts munching on them.
I should see if I should give a little attention to Streak later. Poor Cooper kind of draws fire, and now there's a third in the mix.
Yep, 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 yep.
Boiling, you rotten.
Yep. It doesn't take too long. And eventually, about 5 minutes passes, and Naylock comes out of the office. And you see he's kind of got this, he's got a bag. Like a tiny little leather bag. Stelis, if you would, please roll me an Arcana. Or a History.
I'll take the history.
Okay.
Ooh, 25.
25. You recognize that bag. It's a bag of holding.
Ah. Ooh. Got quite a haul there, sir. I can
Coin purse. He kind of just holds it up. It's my coin purse.
Ah.
Got it.
Just go ahead.
No, he's just looking down at you. All good?
Yep. I'm ready to follow when needed.
Excellent. And eventually, he kind of tells you, "Follow me. We are going to be heading off of campus for a bit." And he begins to walk. And he looks down and goes, "I'm detecting 2 life forms in your bag. One I can most certainly tell is the egg, but what is the other one?"
That is a pet that someone gave to me. I don't know who. It's my little barnyard dragonette Koopa. Keeping a close eye on him.
A barnyard dragonette.
Yeah.
He kind of just looks at it and goes, "Interesting. It does not cause problems, does it?"
I'd lie if I didn't say he was a little mischievous little guy, but he's harmless, and I can keep him in check if anything happens.
Fair enough. Just make sure it does not cause too much problems.
You hear that, Koopa? Don't cause problems.
Yeah. And it kind of pops its head out to look at you and sees Naylock, and it just goes, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." What did it say?
Surprisingly, that's the only thing I don't. He's the only one I don't understand anymore.
I do not understand dragonettes. They are a breed of species I do not study too much on.
Well, this one is a glutton, a mischief maker, but banal stuff. And really, you gotta be careful around him when he sneezes. Honestly, he's a little idiot, but I love him.
I see. And he just walks. You kind of see that Naylock kind of just... He's not really in a bad mood. He actually just seemingly is just chill for some reason about all this.
He kind of gave the South's thinking, like, this is going quite swimmingly. And above game CG's like, he definitely seems like he's not like, it doesn't seem like he's like, oh, this is a serious situation. It's more like, okay, we'll just make sure that this is taken care of.
Yes. allow me to basically set the scene for you all. Salus, you watch as Naylok actually leads you off the campus into town, where you and your friends kind of have their misadventures with your night of drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as Naylok kind of points over towards a clock tower and goes, "Follow me. With that is our destination."
You got a nice view up there.
Yes. It is quite a beautiful place.
Salis will follow behind, just kind of like every once in a while glancing up at the clockwork tower as he makes sure not to deal with anyone. He is also a little wary. This is the first time the egg's been out in public, so he's being extra cautious.
Of course. Eventually, you do both manage to get up to this clock tower, where it's moving along quite nicely. You can hear the whirring and humming of the gears and everything else. And it honestly feels kind of interesting to see how this massive machine is working so methodically. You really don't put too much thought into this until you actually look at it, and you realize, maybe you should probably look more into like how things go, how they operate. It kind of just is like a feeling of wonder, so to speak. And Naylok himself actually kind of stops a couple times to look at how the gears turn. And you see the balls that are hovering around him kind of humming in a nice tune. Almost like it's kind of zen. And eventually, he leads you to the highest point in the clock tower within. And he goes, "I need you to do me a favor." And he starts to open up his coin purse, and you watch as he kind of pulls out a few candles, and he hands them to you.
Sure, what's the favor?
"I need you to put a candle at each point." And he kind of points to the ground, mirroring that of the clock. One at the 12th position, one at the 3 position, one at the 6 position, and one at the 9 position.
The cross formation. All right, I can do that.
Correct.
May I ask what we're doing?
We are going to speak to someone who is very well adept at dragons.
All right then. Conversation. That's fair. And
Yes, please be on your best behavior.
I was expecting to do that talking to you, and that has kept going.
Oh, good. I appreciate this. And he kind of he begins pulling out some more material. You see a little bit of gold dust, a little bit of silver dust. And he brings out what appears to be a rudimentary timekeep. An hourglass. And you notice that there's only a few grains of sand left in it. And he just sets it in the center of this cross positioning as he creates a exact mirroring of what the clock's positioning is, with its big hand and little hand. All right, this should be the correct time, as is said. How is the candles? As he kind of looks to you.
seem to be going strong. I believe I lit them as I placed them.
Good, good. I greatly appreciate this. You have no idea how tedious this entire work is.
From
And he
what I
kinda
learned,
just-
from what I learned from most of my magic classes, there's a fair bit of preparation for rituals that you just wish that you could just hand wave sometime, you know?
He nods as he kind of just looks at it all. And he kind of gets done with this. He goes, "All right, Mr. Creed, I'm going to need you to do me a huge favor. Step back."
Takes a step back.
And you watch as Nayla kind of has each of the orbs rotating around this kind of makeshift sun clock that is being made in front of the actual clock. And eventually, they stop spinning. Naylock puts his hands together. Krana. And just with a flinging of both of his hands from prayer position to forward, you see the clock begin to stop moving. But the clock that has been made below you both, that's been made with these candles, with this powder now moving instead. And eventually, the sky itself kind of begins to spin in reverse. And then, slowly but surely, what appears to be a glowing crack in reality forms. And it opens up. And follow me. And your professor walks through this portal.
Stas is a little taken aback, but he's seen crazier shit, and he is in Strixhaven, so he should kind of expect it a little bit. He's going to follow.
All right. As you step through the portal, allow me to prepare two things. First, and hopefully this one's not too bad for the audio. How's that sound?
Ominous.
Yeah.
All right. Well, allow me to reveal this to you. You would be told this as the landscape is far different from what you've seen before. You see endless sand, a sky of warp coloring, rocks floating in the distance. There is no sun, there is no stars. There is only a sea of light above you, and bronzen sand below you. Welcome to the Oasis of Time.
Salus is just kind of like overwhelmed at the sight of everything, what's going on, what's doing. It's like his senses aren't quite processing. His senses are processing what his brain has not caught up to, He's like, whoa, what? Oh, wow.
Sal's, do me a favor.
Yeah?
Roll me an intelligence check. Not a save, but a check.
I'm not so smart. That's an 8.
I'd say with that 8, your mind is having a very hard time processing everything that's going on. It's kind of giving you some weird flashbacks to when you and your friends ended up in the Astral Sea chasing after Ender when he was captured by the Bagman. But unlike the Astral Sea, where you could clearly see stars and other bits and pieces, it's just motes of green, blue, orangish red, and purplish pink up in the sky. The only seemingly bright spot is a central swirl. The sand is moving in all directions. It gives off like it's a calm tide of water, but made solid and manifest. But it just seems like it stretches out to eternity itself. It's a lot to take in. In fact, you kind of begin to breathe a little heavily. And Naylok kind of looks to you and goes, "Don't concentrate too much on the surrounding. It will drive you mad."
Salus, hearing that, is a little concerned, but takes his professor's advice and instead focuses his attention on the surrounding that he is much more familiar with, his professor himself.
Naylok nods. Alright. With any luck, our presence should be detected. And they should be coming to greet us. And eventually, Salus, you feel the sand beneath you shake. The stones that were far away begin to move towards you. Naylok standing a lot more upright, almost as if he's trying to make himself look presentable. The motes of light that you see up in the sky, that one little white light, it begins to form more of a circular pattern now, but farther away. You watch as some of the rocks begin floating up higher and higher, but you notice that they start taking a more familiar shape. Hourglasses, almost, made of stone, with sand within inside. Those rays of light coming down and acting almost as if glass. Until eventually, a gigantic, all-natural hourglass made of this stone begins to rise up. A wind made of ethereal energy howling. And it takes you a minute. You start to kind of look at this, almost as if you're seeing a mirage. Salus, roll me a perception check.
Perceiving. 17.
Alright. With that, it's hard. You are actually fighting. Eventually, Naylok kind of goes to you and looks. You are trying to see with eyes that can be fooled. And he touches you. Salus, you begin to see far more clearly as the spell True Sight has been cast upon you.
Ooh.
The shimmering begins to take form. The form becomes larger, massive, gargantuan, titanic. As you are now presented with this creature before you.
Hi there. Above game. Hi there.
Mm-hmm. Standing before you is this draconic creature. Shining scales and horns that are barely more than nubs. The sands almost moving gracefully around them. The horns branching with rainbow-hued veins. It almost seems like endless possibilities. And eventually, this creature begins to speak. Honored guests, I am Krona, the Keeper of Time. How might I assist you, travelers?
Does it look like Naylock's about to speak, or is Krona looking to Salus?
Krona is looking to both of you. Naylock actually is taking a knee. He's bowing to this creature.
Looks on over to Naylock, follows suit.
Honored Krona, I come to you with two requests. I see you, Anomaly. I understand you wish to refill your sands. Is that correct? Indeed. Of course. Have you brought the payment? Yes. You watch as he takes this bag of holding. And as he opens it, he empties it out. Dozens. We're talking a pile of platinum coins, rare gems, and what appears to be watches made of gold are laid out. The pile is quite sizable. The bargain price as requested. Good. You honor me, my metallic friend. You watch as the sands shift this pile towards this gigantic hourglass that the dragon seemingly is sitting upon. And it enters the hourglass. What comes out is a much smaller hourglass. The same make and model that was used for the ritual. This time, completely full, as it is given to your professor. The transaction is complete. Remember to use the sands of time well. Of course, as he bows his head. And what of this one? As it begins to look to you, Salus. You are new here. You have never once set foot within the time sphere. Have you come to learn chronomancy?
Salus will look up to Krona and say, a most impressive gift, but one I am not here to pursue. I am here for aid and advice, I suppose.
Interesting. It kind of leans forward to you. Its gigantic, antlered head looking for you. Its whiskers floating freely. Advice is many a thing that is so readily ignored. But it is worth its gold. It is worth more than even time. How might I help you, Horned One?
Salus, you would imagine that Salus is intimidated by this creature, and he is, but probably not as much as one might expect. It almost seems less like he is in awe of like the majesty before him and more an appreciation of what is before him. And he looks up to Krona and he says, I've recently been entrusted with the care of a young, I believe gold dragon egg. I feel my duty and bond to this child deeply, but I acknowledge that I'm a little out of my depth in care and preservation. I just want to see it grow up and live its life, but I want to be sure that I'm the best ward and caretaker I can be for it. And I would like to see about how I might be able to improve that.
You are wishing to raise this creature. You have been entrusted with its care. But you seek advice. You seek the knowledge to ensure that this creature is raised correctly.
I do. I just want what's best for it.
I see. It looks to Naylock. This is an anomaly. Naylock kind of nods. With your permission, I would humbly request that you look after the egg. At least until it is hatched. You would have me mother it. Yes, Your Grace. You entrust me much. But what of the other dragons? Are they not more qualified? This is a material dragon. With all permission, we have already dealt with one. I see. Salus, Krona steps off. This gigantic time dial. Its scales shimmering prismatically. It looks at you with eyes that go from white to multicolored prism. A kaleidoscope. And you feel your memories start to rush forward. A playback is being done in your mind of everything that you have encountered. Do you resist this mental rewind?
Dallas has learned one thing in his time at Strixhaven and in traveling before. If you're in a mighty current, do your best to go with the flow. He is not going to resist.
I understand. Eventually, it feels like only seconds have passed. And eventually Krona just blinks. And I see. An entrustment from the great blue dragon.
Indeed.
You've taken quite a bit of a gamble. But so has he. This intrigues me. I would happily act as the mothering of this great creature. Until it is hatched.
Hey. Salus stutters a little bit. May I be present for when it hatches?
Of course. Though, you will need called. You watch as the dragon reaches its hand towards where this draconic skull shape is, and it kind of reaches in. That prismatic glass bends like a bubble, like a soapy bubble. It reaches in and it pulls out a stopwatch. This little pocket watch, and hands it to you. It drops it into your hands. When the time comes, the watch will chime. You will return to this realm and be present for the creature's birth.
Salus will take it. He'll look it over. And then he will put it in his breast pocket so that he keeps it close at all times.
You are a good man, Salus Creed. Your future, much like your friends, is uncertain. But should you continue to be as you are, there are many bright possibilities.
Thank you kindly for your vote of confidence.
Of course. Krona begins to look over to Naylock. The business has been contractually fulfilled. I thank you for your offerings, Naylock. Understand, though, much like myself, time can only be manipulated by outside forces to such a degree. No one is truly a master. Even the gods have a twilight hour. Of course. And Krona kind of just nods its head. I'm sad to say, even I am not sure as to what is to come. The sands are ever shifting. They are ever changing. But be observant, be vigilant. Understand that change is inevitable. And you will be free of the constraints. And eventually, Krona begins to shimmer, becoming more and more see-through, until eventually, nothing is left. The great sand dial begins to sink into itself. The stones releasing their sand, returning back to faraway places as the eclipse once more reforms into that bright, multicolored warp sea of skylight. And Naylock just turns to you and goes, "The business has been concluded. Leave the egg."
Salas will reach into the backpack and he'll pull out the egg. And he will look at it and kind of look at the grounds. He's going to reach further into the backpack. He's going to pull out one of those nice, fine silver sheets, and he's going to make a small nest out of them and place the egg delicately in there. Then he's going to take a very deep breath as he looks at it. I hope I'll see you soon there. And he looks at the egg and he stands back up.
The egg doesn't move. The sands merely coalesce around the egg. Almost vibrating to a tune. Similar to that of a lullaby. Naylock kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and looks to you and goes, "It is time we leave. We do not wish to overstay our welcome."
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Before he does, Salas is going to look back into his bag and make sure that Cooper is still here.
Cooper is in your bag, and he is not moving a single inch, save for breathing.
Does he look scared?
Insight check with advantage.
Where's my insight? Come on. There you are. 18.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that Cooper could sense there was a predator of much greater caliber around. It most likely could tell there was an apex creature around.
Yeah, that makes sense.
but Cooper's staying in the bag.
Yeah, he'll reach in and give him a few squishes. It's okay. I get your feeling. I get your feeling, buddy. We'll be out of here soon. I'll look back to Naylock. Shall we then?
Yes, let's. You do not wish to get trapped here.
Oh, good. Good to know that that's a thing. Yes, let's abscond, sir.
The two of you walk towards the portal, entering it once more. And you reappear on the other side. Back in the town. As you exit this portal, the last grain of sand within that 1 hourglass drops. And it shimmers out of existence. The sand's gone, the hourglass gone, the gold and silver dust to make the clock hand moving, swirling around where that hourglass was, only to also disappear. But as it does, everything goes back to normal. The gears begin to whir once more. Life in the town seemingly keeps going on now. Almost as if nothing happened. And Naylock kind of looks to you. Are you alright?
Would you believe that I had an easier time with that than the boat? Still a little bit of a headache, though.
Of course. He kind of just takes this hourglass that's been given to him. And he just looks at it and goes, "You would be surprised how much many would give to get even a single grain of these sands." And he just puts it away and looks to you. What you gave, though, would be worth hundreds of it.
Salas shakes his head. I don't like that. I don't like that term. It's... People keep saying, discussing its value. It's alive. No matter what strength it has, it is still a thinking, breathing being. The fact that it gave, the fact that it has yet to be born, doesn't mean a thing. It deserves its chance. I don't really like hearing people discuss about it in monetary terms or how it can help or give them power or anything like that. It sets me the wrong way.
I see. Know that it is in good hands. And Naylock kind of just, with a snap of his finger, his metallic fingers, the scene shifts as the two of you warp back onto Strixhaven, right in front of the Biblioplex. Good day, Mr. Creed. I have matters to attend to.
Best of luck in your endeavors, Mr. Naylock, sir. I think I need to go have a talk with someone.
Yes. You do you. And he just walks back into the Biblioplex, no doubt heading back to his office. And I believe right there is where we will take a bio break.
Wow, that one episode where for us it was just a Tuesday never stops being relevant.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Aha! I have something I can keep up with Belky's Archdevil family.
Congratulations. One of you has met Nalok's material component dealer for all of his chronomancy.
And Daedalus thought Darius flexed on him. Oh boy, if he finds out about that.
Well, no, if he finds out about that, he will be incredibly jealous of Salus because he's
I know.
Nalok's protege, and he's like, I didn't get to see that. Oh, and he's mad at me.
That's the point of my statement.
Here's the thing. Darius has many of his own qualities. He's very privy to a few things that you guys even aren't aware of. But that's just coming with the title of prefect. But we'll get to that little bit of information another time. Right now, I'm thirsty. I need a drink. And I'm probably going to go use the bathroom. We'll be back, chat.
Yeah, I think we also had several new people because we've had just about every number under 20 watching, so a lot of people are seeing this possibly for the first time, so thanks for sticking around.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed, chat. I certainly did.
Also, can we also point out that this possibly is the lowest tier of our party drama, if it like comes to that?
Oh,
What do you mean?
100% our campaign is a soap opera. It's great. 10 out of 10.
Meanwhile, you might try to go looking for Daedalus. Daedalus is breaking and entering on an entirely different part of the campus that nobody knows.
So what you're saying is the boy has not learned. Got it.
Listen, Daedalus is a deeply flawed creature. He is...
We know.
Well, how are you enjoying this chat? Glad that everyone's at least here for our soap opera / like religious ramifications.
Bubba, we're glad you've been having a blast with this. We've been having fun too.
I mean, yeah, a fair amount of people really like this thing. Like, apparently, there's not a lot of campaigns where 90% of the campaign is role playing. Then we sometimes have a fight.
So you roleplay. Big whoop. Want to fight about it? No.
We want to talk and have deep interpersonal connections about it.
The thing is, when we do have a fight, though, it's like surviving by like the seat of our fucking pants sort of fights, given our level.
True. And we've also had a lot of don't forget the cooking. We've also had a lot of non-combative challenges to go through. Fair number of cooking innings, for example. Also, I will be right back.
That is true.
I'm gonna get the agua.
And as we've stated multiple times, also, the shoe is going to be on the other foot if anyone reveals, oh yeah, we're in a cooking competition. Oh, with who? Crime Lord.
Again, you keep saying that, but not everyone there knows this person's a crime lord. They're just thinking it's a fun food competition.
I know, I'm just saying that if that ever comes out, it'd be like, when did this happen? Less than an hour after we dealt with our last crime lord? I see.
But that doesn't make it the shoe on the other foot, though. That's not something they kept from him to purposefully keep from him. At the time, Lucy was off doing stuff, and they went and did a thing. It would kind of almost be like if people get movie tickets to go somewhere. Someone's like, "Hey, I got free movie tickets. All you got to do is this," and it's like, "All right, cool. We have tickets. You just so happen to not have a ticket."
Well, no, it's not that. It's the last crime boss we met during the last encounter. Daedalus was prepared to kill a man for the first time. Because he was so mad about all of the situations going on and what this guy did to put us in that situation.
Oh, man. I honestly just love the consistent duality of folks were like Daedalus wants to consistently now resort to murder or killing. And people were briefly mad that Indare was about to choke a bitch out if necessary.
Daedalus has only wanted to kill one person. He does not count the vampires because A, they put everyone in danger, and B, they were undead. Killing them is not murder. If anything, it's pest control. Which is going to be awkward considering at least one of our fellow students is a vampire. I know that as the person who made the character.
Oh boy, I'ma let that one also marinate.
Listen, we're an MTG setting. Some of the other MTG modules that like are lesser known made for literal vampire stat blocks. So I might have used one.
Look, Camillo has a hurt party. Iapetus has no ill will against them. Everyone gets a relatively clean slate for her unless they are given a reason to not have one. The way she sees Anki, we were drunk, we played a game, we lost money, play dumb games, win stupid prizes, we paid that money back. We can't help that we got fucking robbed because we were drunk playing stupid games.
But it also was heavily implied that he kept drinking with us and putting us in a situation where we did not have control of our faculties, which is an actual crime.
So technically in game we don't know if that was a crime, and also if we were drinking it would be up technically if we're going to use real world rules to the bartender to stop the drinks, not him.
Well, we also
Not
know
to
where
mention-
we drank.
He's also
What'd you say,
admittedly
Silas?
he's also admittedly a dwarf, so like that's kind of on us to get into a drinking game with a dwarf.
Well, it wasn't even a drinking game.
technically
We were just playing cards, and he just kept giving us drinks.
You have to take them.
That is true.
That-
We didn't have to. We were just drunk from already the drinks that we had in the tavern to begin with before we saw him.
Salas didn't take any. Salas also didn't he did his best to curb the situation while I was there, but it was one sober man versus 5 drunks.
Yep.
And an antimony.
And Intimity. Well, I think Intimity showed up later.
No, she
Yeah,
was
a
there
little
at the
bit
beginning.
later.
I remember she was. I remember everyone at the table because I remember that's when I first finally had a chance to cast darkness and got everyone with it.
Yeah.
I think Antimony was there in the beginning, but at some point left. And was kind of called in when Salas needed help.
I also just
Yeah.
love Bubba in chat. I totally forgot they were a crime lord. But yeah, now we've got
They're
school back. I'm gonna,
respectable businessmen.
and so was Al Capone, as I said last week. I'm gonna go pee.
Bubba, you would not be blamed for forgetting because, truth be told, only some of the party members actually know that he has his hands possibly in some shady things.
True.
There are party members who are blissfully unaware.
So how y'all feeling?
Great.
I feel like having a few words with one of our party members still.
Yeah.
Man.
Congratulations, you're back home. You got stuff. You met the dealer for one of your professors.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
That shit ain't
Iapetus was just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. I can't. Like, I've done my good deed for the day. I'm just gonna go.
Ugh. But yeah, now
How's everyone?
I should have gone first because I'm not topping that.
Yeah.
I thought about it as soon as I walked in and saw the timescape. I was like, you know, maybe Vaughn should have taken the lead there.
Hey, you're the one with the egg.
T-Mac Grubhub's it.
God damn it! Don't you? You actually have no idea how funny that and true that technically is.
You know what's funny? John Oliver did a special on like Grubhub and Uber Eats recently. And it's so weird, but apparently Grubhub, Uber Eats, and the like, the only group of the restaurants, the company itself, and the customers, the only group that's profiting is the customers. It's hurting. Yeah, it's hurting the restaurants. Uber Eats is only like those companies are only barely making a profit, and we're the ones who are benefiting from it.
That's weird.
Well, no, the
I
fun.
don't like
Well,
that.
no, that's the thing is because to sustain that model, like I didn't watch this thing, but I can kind of just look at it from a professional driver's point, so I know a lot of stuff like about fares and other stuff because I can apply for those jobs.
Mhm.
The customers are slightly getting gouged for how much because like whenever I use DoorDash, I'm paying like an extra $10 for the convenience of having it brought to me. But that extra $10 is basically the profit margin because the like whatever restaurant gets the main fee, but that's still not that much. That's dollars to pennies to what they would have if someone just went through a drive-through, and they have to spread that out through all their employees. Whereas Grubhub and all these places, they have to split that with any tip that they're giving the drivers to basically keep them from unionizing. Otherwise, you have the issue with like Uber in general, where they are not allowed in certain cities where there's a strong cab drivers union.
Yeah. Speaking of which, never forget the fact that Amazon fucking managed to utilize like traffic lights to try to prevent a union from forming.
Ugh. Are we all back?
Just throwing that out there. Good question. Let's do a rundown. Vaughn,
Yeah.
CG,
Your Uber Eats is ready.
yummy. Wiley, Bob,
Kill me.
no.
Suffer.
Let's see. Just added them. Zai.
Aki.
So I think we're basically just waiting on Wiley and Krista.
Oh no, Wiley's there.
Oh, yes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He did his what?
I didn't hear it.
Krista.
I am here.
Hello
All right.
here. All right. Well, we will be picking up now with this. Let me play a little bit of a. Let's see, what would be a good song? What would be good background?
Scroll up to the post I said that Daedalus right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Where would be something that would be. Maybe it'll work. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Especially considering the scene. Hey, Daedalus.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be picking up with you. You, as I have seen and what you have referenced, are making a trip to a certain location on campus. Correct?
Yep, a certain abandoned location.
Understood. I assume you're traveling there overground instead of
Yeah.
prior.
I mean, at this point, he knows that he can kind of control the Securitron network, so he can just kind of walk there.
Okay. It takes a bit to get to the old to the old Arcana division that once stood. You do get a couple weary looks from a few people as you're kind of entering towards that area, but no one's seemingly, stopping you.
Daedalus wouldn't even notice. He's probably like got his eyes at the ground, only looking at the check landmarks to try to get to there.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you make it into the old foundry facility, where at one point in time it was sealed off for a bit, as a situation had occurred. It takes a bit. You walk through. There's some old rundown mills, a couple different warehousings. Eventually, you do reach the old factory, where your encounters with the Hoblin Goblin occurred.
He checks the door to see if it's locked.
It's locked.
Okay, that's not
But-
really... well, then I just have one other question.
Yeah.
Have I seen anyone within 100 feet, or like in the entire time I'm walking? Because this is a pre-abandoned part of the campus.
No, you have not seen. There have been Securitrons, but they're doing general patrols.
That's fine.
Here. Just
Knock.
the door unlocks.
Yep, he just pushes in, and he's finally he's going to actually do a mental message to Perdix real quick before he starts getting serious. He just goes, "Perdix,
Yes.
I had this actually in my head a while ago. I just lost it. I'm sorry.
God,
Give me
I
a
feel
second
that.
here.
It's all good. I feel that.
Perdix, you're on my side about what happened, right?"
I merely am here to assist wherever I am needed.
He's just gonna let out, and he's gonna straighten up and start actively looking around, checking to see what in the factory is fully in disrepair and what could possibly be repaired with his limited knowledge of artifice, or if he could possibly get in there to help.
I would say roll me. This is going to be a twin roll.
Okay.
Roll me an Arcana and an Intelligence.
Okay. Arcana first. 22. Intelligence. 13.
A few of the machines that you kind of look around, and you see that some of them do appear to be more arcane in nature, so you might be able to work on a few things. Those that are not of arcane origin, those that seemingly are of general manufactorum specs, those ones you're a little bit more hesitant on, because now it's it's science. And while magic is a very weird fluidic thing, science tends to be a little bit more on the artificer side of things.
There's a reason why Daedalus is the black sheep of the family. That's because he's not a sorcerer or an artificer. He knows.
So some parts you do understand, some of this machinery, You do notice that a bunch of this entire facility has been cleared out. Blueprints that were once there, no longer there. You can only assume that anything that's been of dangerous or of interest has been absconded with by campus security, by the professors.
Yeah, no. The first thing I thought of was, would there be grenades? No, there would not be grenades.
Nope. Even
Listen.
the machine to build the grenades looks like it's been hollowed out.
But it does seem basically very much off the grid. All right, well, Deus will nod to himself, and he'll decide this is good. He's going to start making a checklist of get new locks with keys that he can get copies of for everyone, and he's going to start a slow process of walking back to his dorm room, walking back to there, and grabbing stuff. Specifically, the most important thing he is grabbing is the conspiracy board with all of his notes about the current threat levels going on, and he is moving it here so that way no one can find it in his room.
Of course. I will say this. Are you going to be spending the rest of the day kind of moving material from your dorm over towards this facility?
Yeah, he figures that he's probably not going to get to see Naylock today, so he can't do the other stuff on his weekly actions. And that would also be a thing where he probably would have to wait. But he also feels like he's persona non grata with a lot of people right now, so he is just focusing on the one thing that he can build and fix.
Of course. I'd say you do manage to get at least 2 to 3 trips back and forth, moving some stuff. On your 4th trip, and allow me to send a message real quick.
Go right ahead.
Just waiting for a quick response back. Perfect. It is on your 4th trip. And I'm just going to change the music. As you get back to your dorm for your 4th trip, you would come across a familiar face. Your buddy Salas. Who kind of seems to be waiting for you.
Oh. Hi.
Daedalus. Seem busy.
Yeah, something went right today. Is everything okay?
Okay enough, I suppose. Was looking for you. And I have a little follow-up from what we talked about earlier.
Oh.
A place we can sit privately.
I've got a place we can sit more privately, but if you want to just stay here, that's fine.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I figure I should at least tell you about this. So, you remember the place where we met the Hoblin Goblin? Well, the place you all met the Hoblin Goblin, not the place I met him. I met him when he dropped a wall on me.
Yeah, our encounter is his little lab.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a completely unknown site in a pretty safe area of the school because no one knows about it, especially not the cult. So I kind of just converted it now into a safe house.
Some smart thinking. You think the teachers are gonna mind?
Depends on which teacher. I don't think Naylock will care. Especially since I'm going to probably be using that to also possibly... Well, it could be a safe house, but it could also be a trap depending on what I have. I wanted to do some other things today, but that required Naylock, so I couldn't really do them.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a little indisposed for the rest of the day. Mom, might as well show me what you've been up to.
Alright, one second. We'll probably need to stop by the store. I mean, I need these books. And he's going to pick up a random stack of the books that he's been using to help him create spells. And be like, we need to stop by the store. I need to buy another dartboard. At least now I have money.
Make it quick.
I will assume we buy a dartboard on the way there.
Yeah, you do get a dartboard. There is no if and or but about it.
I feel like that's the first normal thing Daedalus has ever asked at the school store.
Yeah, the dartboard's easy to get a hold of, and you know he kind of offers you both like a nice little drink. Nothing alcoholic. It's more like a nice bottled beverage. Basically, he's offering you guys like basically root beer.
I love root beer.
Dales will drink
Free
it
to
now.
take it as you wish.
Yeah, Dales will take it. Probably shouldn't because I'm not sure how caffeinated root beer is in this setting.
It's not really that caffeinated. It's a nice moderate.
Oh yeah, it's fine. I'm just being a shit to diffuse. But yeah, we head
Oh,
there.
good.
He's like, well, okay, so I want to make sure that we always close this door right now until I can get some keys made. Try and get one for everyone. I was wondering if I should give one to Antimony.
Yeah, we can discuss that later.
Yeah, I'll walk in. So they gutted most of the place. I think some of the stuff I could possibly get in there to help with, but we're definitely not fixing the grenade machine. He just points to the... I imagine it's like they just left the frame of the machine, but you can see all of the stuff ripped out of it.
Yeah, it is literally just the husk of it. There is no internals. It is gutted.
But yeah, no, I mean, I figure I could use the place that was the Hobbling Goblins. I'm hoping they disarmed that electric trap. That was very scary. But I figured I could use that as a lab. Maybe share it with Endare. We've got this big space. I figured that would help with all the pets and animals. I'd have to train Fred to get here, but that's a different thing.
Some forward thinking. Always been pretty good at that.
Yeah, it's just how I am. I see a problem, I want to fix it.
Do you always try to fix a problem without understanding it fully?
I mean, understanding's always a problem with me, so I just try to fix the problem and hope for the best.
Come on. Let's have a little seat. Stop thinking about the situation ahead of you. Just think about the one that we're in, Kurt.
You will see his features tighten and he won't say anything.
Styles will casually walk over, probably to like a beat up old bench. He'll come in and he'll sit down. I want to know, and this is more of a check than anything else. You know why I reacted so angrily earlier?
I don't really get it, but I know you don't curse unless you're really mad, so I know I messed up.
What did you refer to as the egg? What did you what did you label it as?
I saw it as just like a variable. I didn't really understand, but dragons have been a problem with us, and the school's ruled by dragons. And I don't know enough about dragons, so I thought they might be threatened. So I figured telling the person I trust the most, which is Professor Naylock, he would be able to make things work out okay. And then I could help him mitigate any problems. I didn't want to see anybody get hurt.
But you kinda did. Daedalus, you saw that egg as a variable, a part of a problem. That egg is alive. That's a child, Daedalus. A child who hasn't had a chance to enjoy the summer breeze, make decisions, and make mistakes of its own. It ain't a variable. When you talk about it, when you make the decisions regarding someone else's life as just part of the problem, I can't abide by that. I've told you before, I have perished before. Straight up gone from this world. The fact that I'm back is because people love and care about me to the spit in the face of how things technically should be. It gave me a sense of the value of life. And that not only is something I've worked my life for, that egg, more than that. It's more than that. I'm just some ambitious little dude. That's a person. And just thinking about you putting it into a formula like that made me so red. Daedalus, I'm not angry at you because you went behind my back. I am angry about that, I won't deny it, but that's only a little bit of it. This part of the plan and how you make decisions, that could have ended very badly for it. That's what made me angry. And I wanted you to know that. More than that, I wanted to make sure that you knew that I'm not mad at you anymore. From the time I've spent with you, you seem to draw into yourself whenever something goes poorly. You seem to go to a very unfortunate place. And today, I put you in such a place. I don't want you to be in that place. I want you to move past it with me. Get to a point where we can just kind of hold our heads high again. Not wallow in what we did or didn't do. You understand me?
I think so. I'm scared. I've watched nearly 2 of my friends die already. You are all my first friends. I don't want to see that happen again. But there's so much stuff I still know more about than you guys. About how dangerous everything is right now. I'm doing everything I can, but there's only so much I can do. I don't have that much power. Like, when I watched what happened with Belkias, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even attack the thing that hurt her. It was dead before I even saw it, and all we got was your egg.
I can't blame you there. What happened to Belky hit all of us a bit hard. We were lucky that we got out of it with just scraped knee. I think, though, if I may, that this reaction that you had, you can look so far in what needs to be done, you kind of lose sight about everything around you. I want you to take a moment. Just take a moment with me. And he kind of like flaps the bench nearby. Take a moment to stop. Not think. Just feel for a bit. You don't have to do anything right now. You don't have to prepare. Just stop. Take in. Let it out.
Dales will move over and sit next to him, and you're gonna notice he's very tense, trying to relax on command is something that he doesn't know how to do. So he just kind of sits there and then just closes his eyes and tries to breathe in, breathe out.
There you go. Just focus on something small. If I know you like focusing on things. Focus on something small. What'd you have for breakfast? How'd it make you feel?
Full.
Did you have it again?
I don't know. Above game, you're picking something that he doesn't focus on.
I know. That's the point.
I don't know. I see food as fuel.
A means to an end, then. Next time that you have breakfast, don't think of it as refueling your body. Just think about enjoying it. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? You don't even have to think about how to improve it. Just note the experience. You'll find that you'll get a lot more data around the small things than you think that you ignored. And then new avenues and windows will open up for you. Things that you wouldn't see if you were just looking as is. looking forward.
I guess I can try.
That's all I ask. I want you to know that after I spoke with Naylock, we went and we figured out a place for the egg. It shouldn't be trouble to the campus. Shouldn't be, well, anything I really need to. Looks just a slight down to it. Anything I need to worry about immediately, but that's a variable you don't have to worry about. Certainly not something you should see as a variable, anyways.
Thank the weave. I was already having trouble trying to figure out how we could get one of these foundries online without it raising suspicion.
You spent a lot of time with Goldblum. Probably more than the rest of us. You think Goldblum is stressed as much as you are right now?
I don't know. He is probably my best friend. I'm sorry that you're not my best friend. He is. But, he is a mystery to me. But he doesn't question what I do, so that's why I think I get along with him the most.
Goldblum has a lot of qualities about him, but he's very straightforward. In a way, it's kind of like you. Something is or something isn't. Black and white. But Goldblum doesn't focus on the major detail. He doesn't focus on how to change something. He goes with the flow. One of the reasons he keeps so serene all the time. I think you can learn a bit from him about just kind of taking things as they are rather than seeing it as a problem to fix. Next time you're with him, just kind of get in his headspace a little bit. Try to think how he thinks.
This is
You might
not.
find that it's. I'm sorry.
This is not what. This is not you telling me to use detect thoughts on Goldblum, right?
Correct. I'm not telling you to use detect thoughts on Goldblum. But you'll find that when you put yourself in other people's shoes, it gives you an important perspective. You can learn from that sort of thing. You made that judgment call. You weren't thinking about how I might feel about it, how the egg, so precious to me, might have had its matters taken away and decided without my input. But if you thought about it, what I might be, what you know about me, what I am, what I feel, what I do, stop and you thought, Salas, he likes that egg quite a lot. He'd probably want to be involved in any situation involving it. Just take a second for yourself and think about what others might be thinking as well.
I'm sorry. I was just worried that a dragon would try to eat you for the egg.
And I put myself in your shoes. I could tell you were concerned. Tell you were scared. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm not yelling at you. That's why I'm not exploding. Because that would just make you feel worse, wouldn't it? That wouldn't be good for either of us.
Okay.
Come on. As Salas gets up, I think you and I, maybe even the rest of us, we should just see about having a few, enjoying the rest of our day without any real care, concerns. Just enjoy the time that we have a little bit. What do you say?
He's gonna kind of look away for a second and then just kind of like straighten up and then like turn back and look at you and go, I can try that.
That's a good lad. You can worry about your impressive hideout tomorrow. Tonight, take a minute to yourself.
Okay, just one thing. He says as he like goes over to the stuff that he sorry about that. Goes over to the stuff that he grabbed, and he's just going to take the dartboard, run into where the Hobgoblin Goblin's main laboratory is, go to like the main workstation, and then put the dartboard perpendicular on the wall to that station. Okay, now I'm ready.
As long as you're sure. Once I don't know.
I mean, yeah. So far, I'm just trying to figure it out. I'll have to troubleshoot all the security system and the Securitrons around here. Sorry.
Something for tomorrow. And with that, Val's is gonna leave a data list.
You both walk out of this facility a lot more understanding of each other now. Though the smell of rust and iron lingers in the air, the hostility seems to be satiated, calmed, reasoning and understanding much more apparent. You both head back to your dorms to get your much needed rest and relaxation. I have one last scene. If that is all right with you all.
Go right ahead.
Sure.
And there, my good friend,
Yes.
I believe you wanted to go back to your dorm room.
Eventually, given the sheer amount of time that it's been over the course of this particular session, I do believe that at this point, Indare would probably try to force himself out of Belky and Timony's room so that he just straight up does not take Belky's bed longer than he has to.
Understandable. Are you just trying to do it by yourself, or are you looking to maybe get some help from, like, one of your friends?
Oh no, he's not bothering them. This was a him problem, and he is going to fix it. He is going to take himself back to bed, or back to his room.
Oh, good.
Besides, everybody's busy at the moment with things going on.
Understandable. Eventually, it takes you a bit. There are some times where you have to sit down on your way back to your dorm just to catch your breath because, there's some nauseousness still left over. But you do eventually make it back. And as you get back, there is a note on your door. Kind of just like a little letter pinned to your door. In beautiful silver lettering, it says, Endare.
Bleary-eyed, leaning against the wall to try to keep himself on his feet, he reaches out, takes the letter, stumbles inside, and settles himself down at his desk, making sure that the door is shut down, closed up properly, as he sits down at one of his workstations. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out a partially enchanted wand sheath, setting it onto the table as he begins reading the note.
Written in, quite honestly, beautiful calligraphy. It reads out, Mr. Endare, you are hereby invited to a free luncheon tomorrow. The luncheon will take place at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Location will be at the Lion's Den. We hope to see you soon. And it's signed with the letter S.
For just a moment, he has a little bit of a flashback of thinking about who S could be. And he knows two particular people that have that letter. And they both had quite pressure the last time that he met them. He looks down at the letter, gives a little bit of a nod, reaches out, grabs a small translucent bead out of a bowl that has basically a note tied to it that says, eat this if I'm indisposed. A bowl of beads of nourishment that he had previously bought. And he pops one into his mouth and he wanders over towards the bed, though he stops for a moment and he glances over at the incubator, the modular incubator that he had previously set up for the egg. See how it's doing.
Incubator is radiating some heat.
Egg still in there. Egg still looking
Egg's
okay.
Still there. Egg's still there, but there are plenty more cracks showing.
There's the slightest bit of a smile as Indare wanders over, dropping a letter and a small pouch of gold or small pouch of platinum into this special connected chest at the foot of his bed before he just collapses back into the bed. That is sending off the letter, basically the documentation of the trip that they just went on, and sending the platinum off back home.
Of course. You drop off this letter, you drop off your financial gift back to your folks. You crash into bed. You all kind of take your time just to unwind and relax. As the day continues on, as rest and relaxation is to be taken for just one more day, I believe here is where we will end our scene and end tonight's session.
Let's go.
Good shit, guys.
That was a
Good
beautiful scene. Yes.
That was beautifully done.
I feel
Just trying
weird.
really hard, not cry.
Good shit, Vaughn.
Well, again, I'm kind of just stunned. I didn't try to have like a super emotional scene there. I just tried to play the character, and this is like the second time it's happened in like a month, where people are like, "That was good," and I'm just like, "Okay." I'm being tsundere here, just like pushing my fingers together.
Take the compliment.
It's hard.
Welcome to hell! But anyways,
But I say
Good
no.
job.
I need
Don't.
Wiley to get a sound effect that's just like a smack sound. Stop it!
I think he does have that, but you have to spend an hour finding it.
Yeah.
but yeah. That's it for tonight, everybody. How about we run down the gauntlet? Who likes to start?
I say you should start because you definitely need to get some rest soon, and it also gives me time to start looking for people to raid.
Fair point, fair point. Hi, everybody. You can find me here on twitch.tv/jfrost747 and on Twitter, or X. I'm still calling it Twitter. At jfrost747. Find me here every other Saturday where I get to be the DM for these lovely little goons. The emotional love, the heartbreak, the comedy, the funny. We have it all here. You can also find me every Sunday and every other Tuesday over on twitch.tv/fartingtart for the War of the Shattered Sun universe. And, of course, our Rascals in Ravnica campaign. Shit's going down. Whether we
Trauma.
wanted to or not. At least for Sunday. Tuesday, everything's great. We got great stuff happening. But yeah, besides that, catch me and my spouse, Loyal Chestnut, probably sometime soon, doing our Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke run again. And Metal Gear Solid 1 returns. But that's
Until I
it.
get into play Cult of the Lamb.
Oh god.
Join
Or Final
us.
Fantasy.
Join us, J Frost. Join us.
I'm already part of a cult.
Would you like to join another one?
No thank you. I've already given up my soul to the government.
If he gets more of them, he's gonna have to start a cult lection.
God,
Eh.
I'm gonna throw
Got
I'm
him.
throwing a fucking egg at you. Alright, but that's it for me. CG, you know what? Fuck you. Here's your egg.
Hello, I am the CG. You can find me nowhere because I don't much care for social media, but you can find me on various Good Beans D&D channels such as twitch.tv/fartingtart, where our War of the Shattered Sun campaign is, as mentioned, going on. And you can also find me in that there Rascals and Ravnica game. Also fun times. Really, the unfortunate thing is that I am only in things that J Frost is also in. So really, when one of us shills, the other doesn't have much to do. But you know someone who does a lot of things that I am not involved in? Shadow Dancer Bob.
Hi there, I'm Shadow Dancer Bob. I played the half unconscious cat man that wants to die but can't die because God won't let him. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, so on and so forth at Shadow Dancer Bob. Sunday we've got Maelstrom and Roll With Me. Thursdays we've got Murder Cave with Helldivers. Friday we got chill streams with Jalopy. Who knows what else we're going to be doing. I'm going to be starting to do some more stuff because my schedule is freeing up just a little bit, and we're going to be needing to fill that empty slots. Willie, go.
Oh, you can find me at Actuality Willie at Twitch and Twitter. I play randomizers and sometimes roguelikes. You can also find me in that previously mentioned Ravnica game, where I'm going back to my regular character with trauma.
Oh,
And I also do multi-world or co-op Zelda randomizer with Helix on his channel on Sundays. It's so weird having to switch now. As well as, of course, here. Our school. Our totally normal school where nothing bad happens. Ha ha ha.
Daedalus, 1,000 yard stare. I'm working on it.
Yes.
Salus immediately right next to him. Oh no, you fuck not.
Listen, Daedalus is 100% the neurodivergent who I haven't been productive today. I have sinned. But yeah.
Speaking
Zai,
of
you think you're next?
production,
No, continue, Wiley.
they sometimes make music, and that goes up on my YouTube. And I have a Ko-Fi where you can support or commission. Now I'm done, I think. I can have a moment to get ready to speak.
Oh, hoy. Yeah. When I'm not thanking the gods that my brother has had a heart-to-heart, you can find me on Mondays playing with him in Resident Evil 4 Remake, where we are approaching the end of that game. And oh boy, that's gonna be an interesting time. Tuesdays you can find me playing Final Fantasy X here on twitch.tv/Zymesite, where I'm attempting to get Orin's legendary weapon, which requires capturing at least one of every fiend from at least 10 different regions in Spira. I have 7 regions so far. I need 3 more, and the last one will probably be the Omega Ruins. This is a mistake. I know this is a mistake, but at least I'm aware of my flaws. Um, Fridays, it's Fistful of Fridays, where we play beat 'em ups and fighting games, and Tekken's on a brief hiatus because boy oh boy did the most recent patch break some shit. So that means we'll probably be playing like Exert or Strive, or I'll figure it out. And then, of course, every other Saturday, I'm here with my fellow students, honestly, just trying to pass first semester. Yeah, but that is me.
And I will finish it off. Hi, you've already found me here, twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky at BurnoutVaughn, and on Patreon at Burnout's Bar, where hopefully sometime next month I will actually be able to get out some rewards. I have been working on several things. I have many bills to pay. So, once all that's out of the way, I'll actually have time to create things again. But aside from that, next week, like we said, Wizard Sips plays. We will have No Love War Extra, where myself, Saris, and Zaku go through more Fate Extra CCC and like explore how messed up the moon cell is. Maybe we'll finally get some plot points. But other than that, then we have Those Who Wander that following Sunday, where, wow, it's weird having a game where the stakes are higher than here, and it's only 3 sessions in. That being said, we're going to go raid our good friend one Mr. Haza is my name. And I think our raid message should be what the episode title is probably going to be, which is Something for Tomorrow. That being said, thank you all for coming out. This has been a hell of a fun time. We will see you all in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.